grab it at any time. It will be up back in the lobby. But without any further ado, Rance, if you would be so kind as to put up that Razor overlay and kick it right into game 2. In 10 seconds, do we have any Idra fans out there? 3, 2, 1. And of course, any QXC fans out there? 3, 2, 1. Woo! And here we are going right into game 2 on Steps of War. This was a loser picks tournament. There were no restrictions on the map in these best of 5. And Steps of War, a brutal map for Zerg.
Yeah, again, the most common thing that you'll see commentators talk about on Steps of War is the fact that the bases are very, very short distances for both air and ground units. And again, QXC is going to be utilizing this and possibly going for a little bit of an early game push here. But again, we do have QXC spawning in the south as the Purple Terran. And in the north, we do have Idra, the Green Zerg. And a little bit of backstory about Idra. He did grow up in New Jersey. He started playing Zerg with Brood War.
Yeah.
Then he switched to Terran. And then he took off to Hogwarts, and at Hogwarts he met wow, what am I trying to say? He met Dan, Ron Weasley,
yes.
Ron Weasley, and then Hermione, Nick Tastes Pike. I think you might know him. And then they all moved. They defeated the that which will not be named, as you were saying earlier.
I didn't know the metaphor ran that deep. That's fascinating history.
It goes quite long. And then they decided to go to Korea and do the whole Starcraft.
And there they lived happily ever after.
Again,
you can find that in the 8th book by J.K. Rowling.
Indeed.
But we do have Idra. It looks like he is saving up once again for a 14 cool. Very typical opening on any map, and it's good to have that sort of repetition if you are Idra. I mean, with mechanics like that, if it's a safe build and you can pull it off on any map, no reason not to do it. QXC with this placement betraying a little bit of what he has in store. Almost certainly a depot, and then either a tech lab or a reactor coming down here, so probably not going to be some sort of fast tech to Banshees. I mean, you can really get a lot of reveal by the placement. We do have that fast gas coming down right now.
And if we go to the natural expansion of Idra, looks like we do have those two drones again. They're in the dance party fever here at the natural expansion of Idra. And QXC does have an SCV there quite low right now, but it is continuing to delay that hatch. And man, Idra must be getting really, really upset right now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to lie. I cannot tell you how many games of IC Cup. I'll have a perfect record. 1,000-0. And I'll be up against this sort of thing where there's an SCV moving around. I'm like, all right, I'm done with that game. And I just leave and go ahead and take the 2-minute loss. And, you know, it's kind of funny because that's a kind of a big habit a lot of the Korean pros have developed. If something obnoxious like that happens, they'll just leave and say, it was just a dead loss. I'm not going to worry about it. But as time progresses and you end up in these tournaments, you do need to be able to deal with those situations. So always a little bit rough. Looks like the drone is getting into the main of QXC. Idra trying to find as much info as he can. No Vespene Geyser there. It's a pretty big deal that he got the chance to see that.
Yeah, again, taking that natural so early for Idra is going to be very, very tough to deal with. Looks like we do have a factory going down, so we might be seeing somewhat of a Hellion attack here. We don't have that reactor quite yet on that Rax. And there's the natural expansion up for Idra. Looks like he does have that gas down as well, but it looks like he only has just started mining that. There's the creep tumor. So again, Idra looks like he's going to be doing exactly what we saw in Lost Temple in the early game.
Oh, but this is interesting. Throwing down a Roach Warren. Roach is very difficult to utilize properly on this map. The control of this wide ramp outside the front is so critical. And most importantly, you need to have that creep spread or your Roaches are useless against exactly what QXC is doing. He's doing that same Hellion opening again.
Yeah, really. I mean, like we were saying on Steps of War, those Hellions get to your base fast because it is so close to each other. There's the factory actually lifting. Those two things did go ahead, and I think they did see the fact that that factory was lifted right there. If we go to the, no, maybe not.
Wow.
But I kind of suspect that he thinks that the Hellions are coming right now. 2 racks is actually adding on tech labs.
Great timing.
So that is some great timing there. He's going to probably have Marauders actually helping him out. There's a spine crawler for Idra going down to the natural expansion, but that's not going to do too much as those Hellions can just waltz right up that ramp of Idra into his main.
I mean, I just think that this is a very thin, dangerous timing for Idra, especially if you are up against a player of QXC's caliber. His control is amazing. There's the Ursadat Calf, who also showed up this evening to observe. And here's QXC's Hellions. Looks like they're trying to poke around. Now, if this were Fallen Luck would just have wailed away at that Roach until after 1,000 shots it would have won. But it looks like the Hellions trying to poke around back. Ooh, nice little juke there by QXC. Gonna back up and just keep those Hellions alive as long as possible.
Yeah, QXC is going to be controlling those Hellions quite well. There come the tech labs. He is going to be getting that concussive shell upgrade, making them slow. And here's a little bit of Cthulhu Lug style play with those Hellions there, controlling them quite well, making sure those roaches do not actually hit them. And he has actually gotten quite a few hits there on that roach. He might actually kill one.
Yeah, great control. Now Idra's doing a smart thing, making way more roaches than he needs to, so he can possibly counter push. But here Marauders, looks like he's going to be able to get one roach. Man, to snipe that. Oh, Idra. Oh, what is that roach doing?
Looks like that guy was lost. Looks like the panda guy told him a story and he just kept listening all the way into the main base of QXC. He's going to be taking down another roach there with those Hellions. Now he's going to be pushing into the natural expansion. Idra is going to be in a tight spot right there. There's only a handful of lings are spawning right now, and one suck can defend against this early attack from QXC.
Oh, QXC even burning down trees on the way, an absolutely savage approach. Now he's approaching up here to the Spine Crawler, doing a headbutting action. Spine Crawler's going to fall. These Zerglings are not going to be able to do anything, and these roaches are still lagging behind. QXC pulling way far back, but surprisingly low on Marauders.
It looks like an SCV has joined those forces up to QXC to possibly repair those Hellions. There comes more roaches from Idra. Is he going to be able to actually defend this? Wow.
Oh!
Two swings there. Ouch. Looks like he's only now down to 2 Marauders, and Idra, I do believe, is going to hold off that attack.
Beautiful defense by Idra there. Even having to pull the second queen off. Very rough spot. Notice that Idra is supply blocked, but there's not much you can do in that spot. No Zergling speed, actually skipping Zergling speed. Unbelievable. One of the most essential upgrades. Artosis literally said, I never don't get Zergling speed. And I was like, Artosis, why don't you just say you always get it? But of course, Marauders and Hellions continuing to push. Artosis not giving up. That's a lot of roaches.
Yeah, that is definitely a lot of roaches. Looks like he does have that speeding upgrade now for Idra. He's going to be taking out those destructible rocks to take that expansion. And right now, let's go back into the main of QXC. He has started that command center right there, and he's going to be adding on another factory, possibly going to be seeing some Thors here from QXC, but again, he is going to be a little bit behind there. There's the armory, so we are going to be seeing some Thors relatively from the Terran player. And Idra has to forward now.
Oh, no!
Force.
Oh, that's the exact wrong order you want with the Marauders in the front and the Hellions in the back. The Zerglings can hit exactly the right thing, the Marauders, but of course, a little too many forces there for QXC. Going to be able to continue to push, to be able to take this expansion. And this is a style that Lucifron popularized a lot at the start of Starcraft 2 beta. This Marauder Hellion mix and relying on just Thors for your anti-air. It's very effective, strongly recommended. It's pretty straightforward to pull off, but either way, Idra now finally getting a chance to rebuild the economy, finally getting those upgrades, and still it's going to be a long recovery for Idra from that opening.
Yeah, QXC, I do believe, scouted up those destructible rocks. They're right outside of the natural expansion of Idra. So, actually, he did not see the fact that they were low. They are only about half HP. Idra did the right thing and pulled those speedlings off. QXC does have his natural going down right now. He lifted that factory. I wonder if we're going to be seeing him swap out for another tech lab so he can have 2 factories producing 2 Thors.
Oh, and there's the good old swap-a-roo. Yep, double Thor. That can't ever be bad, but the Thors are the sweetest unit known to man. And it looks like we have more creep spread going on by Idra. Continue to whack away at this wall. Now, there's one thing I do want to say is nice for those on this map. This expansion is very nicely, neatly tucked away. It's a little bit easy to defend as long as you have that creep spread. So essential. There's a Hydralis Den going down. Idra becoming trademark Idra in this game too. And it looks like QXC just never going to stop attacking no matter what.
Yeah, I think he does believe that actually, wow, he didn't see that drone there. He does kill that quite easily. Here come the roaches there. Nice overlord placement there, spawning that creep and allowing those roaches to move much faster. But those roaches need to fall back there as QXC does have quite a few marauders. How many roaches is Idra going to lose? It looks like he's going to lose too many. Is again, that creep did save his life right there. But QXC is going to be in the better position right now.
Yeah, this is such a potent, aggressive force. I mean, again, the problem is that it doesn't shoot air. You have a little bit of issues with mobility. You need to waste a lot of scans burning through those creep tumors. But either way, it looks like, ooh, Thors and tanks. You already have one more tank out for QXC. No siege mode quite yet. Just going for a really muscular ground force. Finally backing up to get some Marines. No upgrades coming out quite yet. There is the engineering bay as well. And QXC looks like he's doing just the right mix for this Hydralis composition. It's a little harder for Mutalisk, but I think that QXC is going to be in pretty decent shape going into the mid-game.
Yeah, QXC, it looks like he's going to be pretty much doing what he did in Game 1. He still believes in that army composition. We'll have to see exactly how Idra responds. Looks like he does have quite a few units going into the center of the map. and he's also going to be spawning that creep like you just said. QXC might actually be moving out here relatively soon as well. But again, Idra's going to keep adding on more roaches, it seems. Let's go into the unit production tab, see exactly what Idra is going to be producing. Yeah, he's going to be completely adding on more Hydralisk as well as roaches. And for QXC, looks like he's going to be getting that blue flame. That is, I like to say, as you like to say, and now actually he's testing out the so again, has started.
Oh, wow, a little bit of an echo going on. We are intense casters. We will be casting from 15 mics all at once.